If you're wondering what the title of the video means, assuming you haven't seen the thumbnail, I'm talking about the show The Adventures of Jimmy Neutron, Boy Genius. Now, another thing is that, not only has the show been canceled for almost 16 years now, I'll just say I like to consider myself like a movie and a TV buff. And so with that being said, even though it's been 16 years, I would have to say that Jimmy Neutron, Boy Genius would probably be the only series that I can think of that the cancellation is just something I still haven't let go yet. And, aside from just making the video, just how I still haven't been able to get, just let that attachment go, is also the fact that the people behind the show itself, the people that made the first 3 seasons, even the co-creator, they all are very much behind the show coming back. In fact, if you didn't know it, back in 2020, just 2 years ago, Nickelodeon was actually going to do the revival project. There was a bunch of people behind it and everything. It was going to happen. The only problem was one person vetoed it. One executive vetoed the entire project. And so it's since been on standstill. And that's only been 2 years, though. And the thing is that with the way I view how the entertainment world works is that 2 years of something being on pause is not that long of a time frame. Meaning that I feel like it could easily if there's enough hype or anything, it could easily get enough traction to where that one executive who vetoed it, or assuming if they don't even work there anymore at that point, that everybody will be on board with it again and bring the show back. Because not just me or the people behind the show or all but that one executive at Nickelodeon. Hopefully I said Nickelodeon the first time. Not only do they want the show back, a Facebook page, I'm pretty sure they have other venues and everything too. I'm pretty sure there's other pages as well, but I do know there's a Facebook page called the Jimmy Neutron Revival Project. I think I'm saying that right. Anyway, I'll share a link to their Facebook if they still have it down, either somewhere in the video or in the link below. The reason why we know the people behind the show are still very much behind, aside from that 2020 meeting, actually went as far as announcing 4 names for the for the episodes that were going to be in the season for season 4. They released 2 scripts or script excerpts. I think you have to pay for them to get the full script, but you can get excerpts online for a website that also shows how on board the people behind the show really are and it coming back. I'll share that website somewhere in the video as well, or in the link below, probably both. But no, it's but the excerpts, the script excerpts, yeah, there we go. They're only maybe 4 pages long, but oh my goodness, they need to be made, in my opinion. You read these scripts or these excerpts, you read these 4 pages of a script, and if you have the ability, say you've read a book before, hopefully most people have, and you just have the ability to just read and just see the images in front of you and just see the characters' conversation happen before your eyes. I very much felt had that feeling when I was reading the script. But it was the episode playing out. It was the setting in a Lindenberg Elementary, the classroom, the mannerisms of all the characters, the principal, Miss Fowl, all the mannerisms are still there. It's just one of the 4 pages, and that was just a fraction of that. Another one, which I'll even go as far as this one I'll kind of spoil. So if you really want to be in the dark about everything, just don't This episode, here it is. This episode is called was going to be called Three's a Crowd, or still can be called Three's a Crowd. They've pretty much made it seem like this is set in stone. They've already had their mind made up that this is going to be what the 4th season is going to be about for Jimmy Neutron. We needed to get made, but the scripts are done. The team's ready. We just need the company to say yes. But anyway, going to the episode. The episode is called Three's a Crowd. It features Libby, Cindy, and Betty Quinlan all getting trapped inside Jimmy's lab. aside from there, you can pretty much figure out that it's just a sequel to that scene in Vanishing Act where she told Cindy to just stay away from her, and like Jimmy is all hers basically, and Cindy was excited about that. This episode basically is a continuation of that, and oh my goodness, like those were like the best 4 pages I've read in a script in a long time. Like not only did it have that same visuals of you can just see the characters and the setting unfold before your eyes, but that one, like, oh my gosh, that one again, I'll show you their website, but that I would recommend you reading that for yourself. And you can see the full script somewhere else. I can't remember where, but the full script is available. You just have to, I think, pay for it or do like a free trial. But that's if you really want to do that. But like those 4 pages, because like even in those pages, they go full circle, and I don't just mean full circle with the Vanishing Act episode. I mean they go as far as like referencing something that happens in the first movie back in 2000. Like they throw all the way back, and it's just so well written. Like I would like these need to be made. Like these episodes need to be made. But yeah, there's 4 episodes. Deep Impact, Three's a Crowd, A Crime of Confusion, and Interception. Those were going to be the 4 episodes. And I do know the plot of Interception, but I feel like a lot of people, I don't know, I feel like it'd be more intriguing if I didn't say what that episode was about and I just had people to see it for themselves on the Reddit page. But aside from that, like the things I know that like even before I saw the Reddit page, because it did list a decent amount of stuff that you saw in the season, or that was going to be in the season. Something I knew was going to happen well before that was that it was going to be a lot darker, season 4 was. And it was also going to have, you know how in the first season the main characters were just mainly Jimmy, Carl, Sheen, and then Cindy was kind of a primary antagonist, and like Libby wasn't really so much a main character. She was just kind of there with Cindy. And then like seasons 2 and 3, that's when Libby eventually became like a core member of the character. She got added into the theme song actually even. And, she was obviously more of an involved character in those seasons than she was in the first season in the movie. So anyway, I basically was saying all that to say that same treatment was going to be done towards Nick Dean. And anybody that remembers the 3rd season, like one of the things I personally did not like about season 3 was the way they were kind of portraying Nick Dean. Because like in the movie, in the first season, you kind of see him as this like, kind of badass. Like I think that's okay to say. But yeah, that's pretty much what his character was. And then like season 3 comes around, and literally all of his characters just reduced to is just, oh, he broke his leg on a skateboard, or it flashes to him riding a skateboard and flying off and saying, "Ow, my leg." So that's all his like, even down to the final episode of season 3, that's all his character really was known for. Nick Dean was. And then season 4 was going to change that. Season 4 was going to make him more of a main character, and that would have been interesting to see, because thinking about it, at this point in the series, season 3's finale, it's already kind of confirmed that Libby and Sheen are already dating, more or less, way more than Cindy and Jimmy are. But it's also kind of clear that Cindy and Jimmy were going to evolve into a thing, and that was also going to be a thing in season 4. But to go back to Nick Dean, it would be interesting because obviously those two not really love triangles, but those 2 pairings in the group exist. And Nick Dean in the first movie, again, was portrayed as this bad character, badass character, that Libby and Cindy were kind of like crushing on him like hardcore. So it would just be kind of interesting to see the evolution in that of like, just because now they're dating the nerds of the school instead of the cool guy. Now the cool guy is hanging out with these nerds that these girls used to find attractive for him. So that just been an interesting thing to look at. I think I already said like this season was going to be the more darker season. Like a lot of people, depend on who you are, I was in the camp that liked season 3 because of how dark it was, but there was actually people that didn't like the final season because of how dark it was. However, season 4 was going to go a little farther with that and be a lot darker. There was going to be new, well, that was stuff I saw on the Reddit, but yeah, it was going to be a lot darker. I also knew before I saw the Reddit post that there was also going to be a story arc, an overall story arc throughout the season. And that parts of the, like certain episodes was going to affect how the plot of the overall season was going to be. And I believe well, actually, I don't want to ruin the finale. In case it does happen, I really want people to just experience the finale for themselves. But the finale seemed like a pretty solid finale. And I'll say the only reason why, the main reason why we never got a final season back when the series was airing wasn't so much because the series was like, I don't really know where the ratings stood with Jimmy Neutron, honestly. I like to think the third season, despite how, I guess, on the fence it could be for fans, was actually one of the best. I don't know. I really don't know. I enjoyed it. But honestly, no, it had nothing to do with the actual show. It had to do with the show's parent company, which I can't think of. I think it was DNA Productions, I believe. I can't think of it off the bat. But they were also responsible for the movie The Ant Bully, which also came out, I think, in 2005, 2006, which was around the same time as the final year of Jimmy Neutron. And, obviously the movie tanked badly at the box office, and to the point that it actually made the company go bankrupt. And since they went bankrupt, they couldn't make Jimmy Neutron anymore. And unfortunately, at the time, I can't remember if it was because the people at Nickelodeon just saw little faith behind the series because it was a CGI series, or if it was like one of those classic examples of like executive, like producers or CEOs or executives just changing seats and like getting new people in and going and just out with the old, in with the new, that they just decided, we're not gonna. Your company's gone. We're not gonna fund your show. We're not gonna make the show because your parent company is no longer a thing. So your show's no longer a thing. And then it was even more insulting. Like maybe like 6-7 years later, after the show was canceled, they came back with a spinoff to Jimmy Neutron, so not a sequel series, mind you, or a fourth season like everybody wanted. But no, they came back with a spinoff called Planet Sheen, which had very little to nothing to do with the actual show. And I think the only reason they made Planet Sheen was obviously to get those fans back, even though it was just a lost cause. And it was obviously like because they didn't have the official rights to the show, I believe, and so they were just trying to literally do the best they could. Which I'm not giving them an excuse or anything, but that's definitely what happened. And so that got canceled. I don't know when. And yeah, since then, like they've just been wanting to make season 4 again. They've just been wanting season 4 to come out, and I've always wanted season 4 to come out just for the simple facts of actually seeing Jimmy and Cindy get together. They were apparently going to just squash their rivalry altogether, which I kind of thought season 3 was doing that already, but I guess there wasn't going to be a scene. I guess the final episode of season 3, I guess it definitely solidified they had feelings for each other, but I guess that didn't make them a full-on couple. I don't know why I said it there, but I guess it didn't make them a full-on couple. So I guess season 4 was them getting rid of those final little tweaks that they just weren't ready to get rid of yet. But no, it definitely feels like a robbery. It definitely feels like me and a bunch of other fans of the show around that time, or who became a fan over time, just kind of got robbed of a really, really, really good fourth season. And the thing is that the reason I'm saying all of this honestly, is because if they'd had that fourth season was going to be the final season of Jimmy Neutron anyway. So in reality, when you watch Jimmy Neutron, you're only watching, I don't know why I'm talking like this, but you're only watching 75% of a show, with the other 25% just waiting to come out. And the thing is that going back to that website that had the excerpts of the script, um, like the people behind the show, like two of the writers, two of the directors, one of the co-creators, they all pretty much said, like, yes, we are releasing these episodes, like, we're releasing these scripts on purpose. We're releasing them. They're not getting leaked. We're releasing them because we want this to, like, gain traction. We want this to gain, like, an audience. We want this to get enough people behind on board that want to see this. So Nickelodeon basically has no choice but to give us the green light, and we get this. We make this, and you guys get to see it. But yeah, you know, they very, like, and one of the reasons why they very much say that, and, like, not only do they just say that, but they also go as far as saying they want the traction, they want the ball rolling so badly that they're even willing to release other excerpts of other episodes that they've already had locked and key. Because apparently this season, I will say this though, this was like the first bullet point in the Reddit thing. At one point, the season was going to have 18 episodes. It eventually evolved into 26. So the fact that we have 4 episodes with plots, like summaries, and 2 scripts out in the air is very, very microscopic to what we could actually be seeing. And again, they're saying that they are not afraid to release more of these excerpts, more of these scripts, so more people can get involved and see just what they like. It's definitely a passion project. This is absolutely a passion project. And I definitely, like, I don't know. Even before knowing all this, I just really, really wanted the show to come on. And I even found myself telling people over the years, like at my apartment with my roommates in 2018 on Discord, like last year or 2 years ago, even before I even knew about the meeting or anything. It just, like, I always just wanted the show to come back, and then just to find out just literally a few days ago, because I was wanting to make this video, so I wanted to research, and I ended up just finding way more than I wanted, obviously. Like, the reason why I'm just so all over the place in this video is because, like, it was supposed to be just a simple, I want the show to come back video. And then it became this whole other thing where it's like, oh crap, like, the people behind the show really want this out. Like, they really want this to be made. It's not just a bunch of people on Facebook having a revival group and a petition. The people behind the show itself wants this to be, like, I keep saying it, but, like, I don't know. I'm hoping, like, I don't know. I doubt how much traction this video is going to get, but I really hope it definitely spreads the word. I definitely hope the show does come back because, again, like, it's one thing to just have an attachment to a show and just not being able to let it go. And then it's a whole nother thing to realize that you're not alone in that boat. The people that made the show, that went through the hours of, like, writing it on paper and putting it on computer and put it into everybody's satellite dish so they can see it, they are just, like, they are probably more passionate about it than I've ever been. And, like, I don't know, it's just, it would, I don't know, like, if you're a fan of the show, that's all I have to say. If you are a fan of the show and you want to see something more than what we saw in season 3, because you have to admit, season 3 left a lot of loose ends. Then just do. I mean, like, go to the Revival Project, go to whatever Twitter or whatever they petition they have, and just make your voice known that you want this show out. Like, I want this show out. I mean, obviously, I've spent a good, who knows how long this video is going to be talking about it, but yeah, I mean, I want the show to come out. I've said it before. The people that made it want to make it. I said it so many times now. I'm stuttering it, but you know what I mean. So, but yeah, like, I don't know what else to say because I've already sounded like a broken record already. So, yeah, like I said, 16 years and I'm still not over it. So, enjoy.